Que vivan los tatuajes, que viva long live Tattoing.
Puntuali come orologi, non so se svizzeri, messicani, giapponesi, non ne ho la minima idea, sinceramente. Sancascianesi, probabilmente sancascianesi. Le 21:30 di oggi, martedì 4 aprile 2023, è tornato l'inverno, ma la primavera ormai alberga nei nostri cuori. Buonasera a tutti, buonasera. Alberto, Denic, Nicolai al microfono, insieme al Dottor Valente, Rino Valente,
buonasera a tutti.
Sempre più Playmobil.
È freschino,
Madonna,
è freschino.
No, qui è veramente un freddo che non si spiega, sinceramente, è inspiegabile
siamo
sotto
anche
tanti
in
punti di vista.
collina, dai.
Capito? Non è che siamo in vetta.
Però l'era fredda anche a Firenze oggi, diciamolo.
Sì, era freddo un po' ovunque, però insomma io non me l'aspettavo. Io ormai, scollinato il 21 di marzo, che è la data ufficiale dell'inizio della primavera, per me, io mi levo il giubbotto, cioè io non
pensavo che stavi già pensando ad andare in mare.
No, mare no, io poi quest'anno chi ci va in mare? Io non ci
si va in mare.
Non ci si va in mare, non ci si va assolutamente in mare.
Quindi non c'è paura di non superare la prova costume?
No, la supero comunque, in ogni caso, però vabbè, è lo stesso. Comunque ragazzi, benvenuti, è la 9ª puntata della prima stagione di Long Live Tattooing, il podcast. È una puntata speciale, è una puntata con un ospite speciale che vedete già lì, bello spaparanzato sul divano, bello tranquillo, bello rilassato, che scuote la testa e capisce sicuramente quello che stiamo dicendo. E comunque ragazzi, è una grandissima puntata. Per commentare la puntata in diretta su Twitch, da cui ci potete trovare e sentire, mettete un bel mi piace, un bel cuoricione al canale, in modo che potete commentare in diretta. Se volete utilizzare uno dei vostri 2 abbonamenti gratuiti per quanto riguarda l'abbonamento Amazon Prime, gli abbonamenti gratuiti di Twitch vengono dati appunto con Amazon Prime, lo potete fare, a noi ci piace molto e fra qualche settimana attiveremo anche sottoscrizioni per il nostro canale. Che succede? La stufa, okay.
Accendi il bruciatore.
Ok. Giustamente Matte Amico scrive il
ghiaccino è freschina
la situazione. Vi comunico che stasera in via del tutto straordinaria saremo in diretta e siamo tuttora in diretta a Instagram anche dalla pagina ufficiale dello studio di Long Live Tattooing, non dalla pagina ufficiale della trasmissione, in modo che possiamo consentire a chi ci segue dall'altra parte del mondo, perché stasera ci seguono, potrebbero seguirci anche dall'altra parte del mondo, di interagire con noi.
Da qui vedo che stanno scrivendo.
Infatti adesso ogni tanto
penso insulti.
Sì, probabilmente, adesso vado a vedere. Comunque era soltanto per dire che ogni tanto durante questa puntata io mi alzerò e andrò a controllare quello che scrivono su Instagram dall'altra parte, perché dobbiamo avere un po' la situazione sotto controllo.
Bravo.
Detto questo enorme preambolo che abbiamo fatto,
dire? Vabbè, si va a letto?
Si può andare a letto.
Vabbè,
vamos a descansar.
Soprattutto buon provecho, Buon provecho. Comunque stasera abbiamo il piacere di nuovo, perché qualche tempo fa l'abbiamo già avuto con noi,
il remoto
my son, my only son,
my second father.
Oh mamma mia.
almost first. Morokogon from Mexico City.
Qui ci sarebbe una... Che viva Mexico! Che viva Mexico! Qui ci sarebbe bene un applauso se fossimo live,
sì.
Ma vabbè, comunque lo facciamo lo stesso. Ovviamente la puntata sarà principalmente in inglese, perché poi diamo comunque la possibilità.
Non è detto. Il ragazzo mi parla di tante lingue.
Vabbè, comunque ci proviamo, insomma.
No? Se parliamo italiano, tanto capisci?
Un po' capisci, vabbè, cerchiamo di andare di qua e di là.
Okay.
Una puntata con, abbiamo detto, i piedi a San Casciano, il cuore in Giappone e tutto il resto in Messico, praticamente, testa, cuore, tutto quanto, quindi un bel giro del mondo stasera, quindi insomma ci sarebbero di cose da dire. Insomma. Quindi andiamo con la prima domanda, no? Alle prime domande per Morocco.
How's it going this trip?
It's going really well, like after being 10 years away from my Italian father.
Don't forget your father,
And away from Italy, and
But before you arrive here, you were in another country.
just in Germany.
Germany, yes. To visit our friend Pino Cafaro.
Exactly, I was visiting Pino Cafaro in Braunschweig in Germany, and also to him it was 4 years I didn't come to Europe, But,
Sì. Sì, 4 anni senza venire.
4 years. 4 years since the last time you were in Europe. Did you find something different in the tattoo customers or in the tattoo culture or something like that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Really.
But I think it's worldwide changing a lot of tattooing, More in this maybe these last 5 years is changing too fast and too much.
Do you think in better or in
Worse.
I don't want the people start to hate me, Chicho, but everybody knows.
In worse. But we are here, noi siamo qua.
Yes.
To make it
Better. Yeah.
No?
Yeah. To improve.
Yeah. Because we are still hard
As fuck.
to kill. Hard to kill.
Die hard.
Die hard.
We are die hard. Esattamente.
No?
In which things you find in which things in particular you find the differences between the last time you've been here?
I think the difference is like nowadays there is a lot of tattoo studios. There are more tattoo studios than in the past, even in 4 years ago it wasn't that much, So there is a lot of tattoo studios, and there are some really good. They are not that good, Yeah. So this is the main and big difference I found nowadays. Yes, in tattooing.
Okay. So, there were a growth of tattoo studios, a growth of people who is going to tattoos, new tattooists, of course. And is this the main difference between the Mexico scene and the European scene, or there's something more that you would like to explain to us?
No. I think in all over the world is the same. Thing, Yeah. The main difference I see between Mexico and Europe is like in Europe is so fucking cold at the moment. I should be in Mexico drinking Coronas below the sun, under the sun. Because fortunately, here in Europe, in Italy, now I have a Pulmone with me in the night, so I don't need to breathe my hands,
Dobbiamo spiegarlo che il Morocco è qua da una settimana circa, ecco, che ha lavorato qua, è stato con noi, siamo usciti insieme, e dorme a casa di Rino che gli ha cortesemente fornito il piumone. Quindi, è così, è giusto, non vogliamo farlo morire di freddo.
È stato un freschino inaspettato, quindi non ci aspettavamo questo freschino, no. Ci vuole il piumone.
Sì, in Messico sicuramente la situazione non ne hanno bisogno, senz'altro. Gli vogliamo chiedere un po' di parlarci un po' di lui, ce l'ha già fatta un po' la sua storia quando è venuto da noi, ma comunque
the first time you've been guest our show, you were talking about your story, your background, your roots. Do you want to explain again super fast?
I have to interrupt you. Someone over here in the Instagram direct are saying "Que viva Mexico!"
Que viva Mexico, cabrón.
we are followed by someone in Mexico, and we are very proud of it. Gracias, muchas gracias. Vamos.
Papita.
La papita.
Little bit of your story.
Okay, my story is this. I started tattooing 23 years ago when I was 17 years. I was tattooing in the, you know, like my mother's house, like a
Nel barrio.
in el barrio, yes, it's a really kind of like a ugly barrio, you know. So at that moment, you know, like you cannot find nothing about tattooing at all, and not only tattooing, also like you cannot find gloves to tattoo, you know. So this was 23 years ago. Now after that, I moved to Japan. I was working there for 5 years. Then I moved again to Mexico, and then I started to come to Europe more often. And when I started to come to Europe, I met Rino Valente, I met Pino Cafaro, you know, like I met Oscar Brujo from Spain, yeah, like a lot of good tattooers, you know. And at that moment, I found it like it was really good because the social media started to blooming, you know, start to have a big explosion. So you start to know more people, you know. And the tattoo scene at that moment was really small. It wasn't not as big as right now, you know. At that moment, I think all the people that are doing Japanese stuff, we know each other, you know. So it was like, I want to go and see this guy, I want to go and meet this another guy and stuff like that. So I found it really, really good at that moment, you know. Nowadays, there is too many good tattooers, you know, that I don't follow anymore, you know, like it's just too much information for my brain, my eyes. I am old, you know, so.
You're old. Are you sure about this?
Okay. Compare it with Rino Valente.
yeah. Everybody's younger than Rino Valente.
I am the measurement of oldness. Everywhere I go,
if you are not,
I am the measurement.
If you are younger than Rino Valente, you are not old enough. Anyway,
the business is completely two part, like younger and older of Rino Valente.
Before, like Christ, before and after. Sorry.
But you say that there is so many more tattooers, but the thing that is very important and sad for some part is that there are many more, but they are less in contact with each other. No?
Yeah, I found it only from my self experience. I found it a little bit less human, this kind of new eras of not only in tattooing, you know, like in every aspect
of
life,
course,
you know, like, people don't want anymore this kind of closure with another artist or another tattooers or another, you know, knowing people. Yeah? I hear a lot of opinions about the new tattooers. That, hey, I would like to go to Italy, you know. I would like to go to Europe. And I ask, like, why you want to go to Europe? Because I want to take a picture with the Eiffel Tower, you know. It's like a good, you know. It's not like in the past, you know. Like, for example, 10 years ago when I first come to Europe, you know, like I didn't know what to expect coming to Italy, you know. Rino Valente don't know me like in person.
Yeah.
Never saw my face.
This could be a good story to tell about how you met Rino Valente, because you never saw him in person the first time.
It was the time of MySpace.
Yes.
MySpace. So long time ago.
Sorry, I interrupt you. Please, if you can continue.
So yeah. Like I forgot what I was saying.
Okay. Allora di pesce. Pesce is in the chat.
Dio Hane!
It's fine.
Okay, I don't know. Oh, please, Twitch, don't cut us.
This is
Mr. Pesce is saying from the chat, from the comments, borda in.
You can say.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I can say it.
Not the second part.
Not the second. Borda in. Not the other part. The first part.
Borda in.
Borda in.
Culo.
Culo.
Yes.
Muy bien. e se non ci hanno ancora segato siamo a posto, siamo a cavallo. No, tutto a posto. Ok, no, please tell us the first time that you met Rino Valente. First, Maria Marinoni is writing on the chat says she's happy not to be the only one to make the mistake of the age in the last episode, because she said something different, something about the age, something about the problem with the ages.
Io non ho un'età. No, non ho un'età.
No.
Così è astratta la mia storia.
Ed è così nell'aere.
Certo.
So the first time you met this guy over here, it was the first time. It was the MySpace time. You never saw him in pictures either.
No.
And how did you recognize him the first time?
No. I saw him in pictures. I saw him.
No. You saw him in the picture. Sorry, I forgot. Before, yeah.
Before the MySpace.
And tell us what you thought about when you saw him in pictures the first time.
I was following a Spanish tattooer, and this Spanish tattooer gonna have Rino Valente on his studio.
Yeah.
Like a guesting at that moment, I think it's...
You can say the name.
It's El Monga.
Monga.
So, El Monga was announcing Rino Valente, and I think it's maybe 18 years ago.
Yeah.
So 18 years ago, you cannot see too many people doing Japanese, So I start to see the work of Rino Valente in Monga's Fotolog. Let's call it the social media at that moment. So I saw the works, and I remember really well each picture of Rino Valente. And the last picture of Rino Valente was himself,
Yeah.
Imagine like as a Mexican, in a barrio, seeing a kind of a really white guy, bald, with the mustache as a motorhead, and playing the guitar.
It was you, eh?
It was me.
It was you.
And my first impression, to tell you the truth, was like, man, this guy looks so fucking Nazi. But he tattoos really well.
I had to be honest with this. I think he's a great tattooer, but he looks like a fucking Nazi.
Yeah.
Back then I was looking like, I'm not shaved, I'm bald.
It's different.
It's different,
So after that, start the era of MySpace, and then on MySpace, I saw Rino Valente, and I started to follow him, And MySpace, I remember, you need to send the request and then you follow each other.
Yeah.
So I sent the request, and we start to follow each other. And one day, when I was in Japan, after a few years, I got a message from Rino Valente, I was like, my God.
Tell this story because it's very important. It's about respect to show to other people before you steal something.
Okay, yeah. Rino is saying his respect, but his message wasn't that respectful. I'm gonna tell you the truth. He's telling respect, but the
But it wasn't so respectful. It wasn't so respectful. Yeah.
I was okay. Like in the words of Rino Valente, this was really respectful. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. It was kind of. Yeah. So this Rino Valente sent me a message. Hey, I'm gonna let you know, and I'm gonna tell you, I completely rip off one of your koi fishes because I like it a lot. I hope there is no problem.
What are you gonna say?
What can I say? Like this Nazi guy from Italy is sending me this kind of message, really kind of cold. What can I say, man?
Let's say nothing. You appreciate this.
I say to him in a really kind of polite way, and I remember my words. Hey, don't worry. Like I also like your work a lot, and I am copying a lot from
Okay.
you,
I agree.
So Rino Valente,
Mucho
instead of
sense.
saying, hey man, thank you so much, he said like, so we are even. Cheers, he told to me like. So Rino Valente at that moment told me like, whenever you are in Europe, come to my shop in Italy,
In Pistoia, when he was in Pistoia.
Exactly.
Yeah, when he was in Pistoia, yeah.
The first one.
The first one, yeah.
So another years passing by, and I have the chance to come to Europe. So again, I come to Europe, I am in Germany, and again another message from Rino Valente, but this time was on my Facebook,
Yeah.
So, are you in Europe? I need you to come to Italy now,
Okay.
And for me it was kind of, hey man, this is a nice chance to meet Rino Valente, to go to Italy, because at that moment I start to know more about the world tattooing, So I saw a lot of good tattooers in Italy, a lot of amazing traditional, it's like kind of, my God, it's amazing, seeing too many tattooers from Italy. I know Amanda Toy, Rudy Fritsch,
Of course.
and a lot of these old tattooers. So it's like, I want to go there, but Rino Valente don't know my face. And Rino Valente don't know the color of my skin. And I was thinking...
And you still think he was a Nazi?
A Nazi.
Yeah, look at him. Like Rino, take off the hat and the glasses,
Yeah. I totally understand what the point of your point of view. Yeah, of course.
So it's like I don't care. I am going. Whatever. He's old. What can he do? If he have a gang, maybe.
But back then I was younger.
I can kick his ass if he mess with me.
So I say like, hey man, I bought my ticket to go into Italy. Tell me which airport I should get.
Pisa. I remember Pisa.
And then?
You can say Pisa?
Merda.
Yes. Always. Forever.
Scusate i followers da Pisa, siamo di Firenze.
Pisani, ma è una storia vecchia come il mondo, quindi niente, anche il Messico lo sanno, quindi che problema c'è.
So yes, I bought my ticket and I arrived to Pisa. But Rino Valente don't know my face, so I thought like, what should I do? It's like a kind of a blind date, should I send my picture and I am looking like that? Should I say which kind of clothes I am wearing so he can
You recognize me? Okay.
So no, I just got into the gate of the arrivals, and Rino Valente is waiting outside saying, "Mo!" And was love at first sight.
We can say it was love at the first sight.
Because you called him in a Tuscanian way, because we used to did not to pronounce the C's, so when he saw him he says Morokogon!
And it's a friendship that lasts since today.
Yes.
We don't know about tomorrow,
here.
But today at
He's
least.
here. So I'm going to check the guys from Mexico.
What they say?
Oh, un saluto a Alessio Ricci.
Oh, grande Alessio.
Un saluto a Alessio Ricci.
Grande Alessio. Da San Diego.
De San Diego.
San Diego,
From
California.
Saludos.
Saludos.
And un saluto anche. C'è anche Gabriele Dornini a quanto pare.
Oh, il nostro maestro assoluto. Gabriele, faremo in modo in qualche maniera di averti da noi, lo sai, vero?
Sì, assolutamente.
Un abbraccione.
Un abbraccione a Gabriele Donnini, un abbraccione a tutto lo staff del Tattoing
Demon
di Roma che tante gioie ci ha regalato in passato. Io vorrei andare un po' sulla domanda tecnica, cioè chiedere come è possibile che un messicano si possa appassionare così tanto al tatuaggio giapponese.
Vai.
I would like to do to make you more technical and more historical questions. How come a guy from Mexico City fell in love desperately with the Japanese tattooing and Japanese culture?
Yes, at the beginning I didn't know, I was tattooing, and in Mexico 23 years ago you need to really tattooing everything, you cannot specialize in some kind of style because you need to do everything,
of course.
Tribal, little dolphins, little dolphins with eclipse, like a little with sun,
stars,
on the bikini line.
Yes, exactly, like this Trump stamp and stuff.
Yeah,
you need to do it. So lecatore, really.
Lecatore.
Saluto a Marco Manopola, il re dei leccatori.
Otherwise, the people is not coming back to you, so you need to do everything good, and maybe someday they're gonna ask you to do for something that you want to do, So I met a Japanese woman there in Mexico. We have a kid, and then we moved to Japan. But I didn't know nothing about Japanese tattoo at the moment. Yeah?
Okay.
I was only tattooing for 4 years, and then I moved thinking that, hey, maybe I can work there in Japan. Yeah?
Yeah.
I can speak a little bit of English at that moment, so
Yeah.
Japan for real.
Let's try.
For sure, they're gonna speak everyone English, fluent English.
It's not
That
true.
was my surprise. I went to a really small town,
Yeah.
and not even now my friend Montamorino,
Yeah.
he wasn't speaking not even a little bit of English.
Yeah.
Maybe he can say thank you.
That's it.
Yeah. So being there in Japan, the Japanese people start to ask you for specific things. It's not only a koi fish, a dragon, dragon.
Sure.
So you start to come and say I want this and this and this. So I don't know the language, then I don't know the meaning and the stories and also the names. So I say man, I need to know and I need to work on it. Otherwise, I'm gonna die by starvation. Mm-hmm. So I started to study the language, at that moment was really complicated because there was not mobiles, not the intelligent mobiles, not
No smartphones, no
exactly.
smartphones.
So all the time I was having my dictionary here,
Yeah, okay.
and the people is saying to me something, and I was looking at the dictionary. When I found the first word, everybody's away, fuck off. So after that, I start to really be interested in Japanese tattoos, because I found out that for a tattooer, from time to time, I know a lot of tattooers that say hey, I am a tattooer, so I am free to do whatever I want, or fuck off, Today I gonna fucking got wasted. Tomorrow I am going hungover, do tattoos, earning money. And the next day, the same, But in Japanese tattoo, you cannot do that,
Yeah.
If a customer say hey, I would like to get, I don't know, for example, I would like to get a dragon, in my complete sleeve. You cannot be wasted one night before, You need to go home, prepare the dragon. I remember, when I started to design dragons, it took me maybe 6 hours to complete the dragon, To study the head, the scales,
the body,
exactly,
and something like that.
The
The head,
composition,
yeah.
so like that. So this is what I really start
To feel.
touch me from the Japanese tattoos. This kind of discipline that you need to have to start to do Japanese tattoos. At that moment, right now, I think. You can find a lot of things on internet. You put the Japanese dragon, it comes a lot of dragons. So you just need to.
Yeah.
But at that moment, you need to check a lot of books, and then check the dragons that another tattoos are doing, and start to humble your own Frankenstein, under the rules of
sure.
Japanese tattoo. Yeah.
And you have to follow all the rules because I don't know if anyone knows, but besides the fact in Japanese it just goes with rules. So nothing is made.
It's all about rules.
Nothing is made by casual. Everything is completely rules. Especially a character like a dragon is made with the combination of different animals. So, just I want to tell just to the newcomers. They don't know nothing about dragon, for example. Dragon is a mythological animal that is created with a combination of other animals. For example, I want to say just one because, the rest you can say it. But the shape of the head has to be a camel.
Ah, okay.
For example. So that's why you have this kind of weird shape, because it has to be the shape of a real camel. Okay. And it's a combination. The eyes is a rabbit.
Rabbit, yes.
Yes. Continue.
The eyes of a rabbit need to be 9 animals.
9 animals for a dragon.
The
Okay.
horns of a deer.
Deer.
The ears of a cow. I like your cow.
I like your cow.
the scales of a koi fish, the body of a snake, and the legs of a tiger, the claws of an eagle.
the claws.
Eagle.
Yeah, exactly, the claws of an eagle, and the belly of a clams.
And the dick?
Maybe whale.
Whale. Oh yeah, a whale.
Okay.
Okay. We are going too far. In my opinion.
Dai.
Anyway.
Comunque, pesce, no, non è una domanda, è
un'affermazione.
un'affermazione. Lui dice che Sud America, especially in Sud America, there is the best for him, the best Japanese maker, because there is Rico, there is Barada, Leo Barada, and there is, of course, Ivan Sazi, even if he's not from South America, but and the most beautiful things about Ivan, because I want to talking about Ivan because he's one of my never-ending inspiration. Ivan Sazi, as long he was in Europe, he was doing kind of, but Philip style, inspired by Philip and this new wave of Japanese, more Oriental than Japanese, But then when he moved to Brazil, he started to develop very traditional way of tattooing, and the best thing is about a guy from Europe moved to Brazil. And all the tattoo artists in Brazil started to copy him. Instead to go find the Japanese stuff, they started to copy Ivan Sazi and do exactly the same style. Very traditional, almost super flat designs, That's just one thing I want
What do you think about it? About the South American wave of Japanese tattoo?
Right now is becoming bigger and bigger, and there is a lot of good tattooers there in North America, and Latin America. I think it's changing a lot, the people is receiving more and more the traditional way, the traditional things, I know a lot of I don't know in person, but I know a lot of good tattooers. They're doing amazing stuff, For example, Hugo Have in Argentina, and all the people that Reno already mentioned, in Colombia there is a lot of people doing really nice things, in Argentina, and then Chile, and then in a lot of places there is too many good people doing
How could you explain this kind of interest for the Japanese culture and Japanese tattoo in Latin America and Central America?
I think right now is because the opening on internet, you have internet and then you can research everything, because in the past, I remember a lot of, at least in Mexico, a lot of tattooers are really kind of afraid and respectful about the Japanese stuff, because they say we don't know nothing, I don't want to do something wrong, or so I keep doing another stuff, so now that the internet and there is more books coming, and we are developing a friendship with some Japanese tattooers, I don't want to say younger, but I want to
less experienced,
people for example Monta or Ryota or Horitoshi-san or Horimomo-san, or a lot of tattooers that are a little bit more young. As I told you, I don't want to say younger because they are
because they are young,
but they start to learn English and start to talk with another people coming out, coming to Europe, going to America and stuff like that, so I think it start to get a little bit more open and more open and open. At the beginning we only know Philip Liu,
the first one at the
and
master.
we know Horiyoshi, and Shige from Yellow Blaze. So for us this was our main guides into this, but then with social media and the opening of internet, we start to know more and more tattooers, and start to know more about the tradition. You know.
Yeah.
Do you think it's complicated to let the people understand the journey you make artistically? Because on the beginning you were more. You told me something about you started to do like biomechanical stuff, something like that.
Yes,
no?
I was. In that moment it was Guy Atkinson. You know.
Yeah.
Paul Booth,
Aaron Kane.
Aaron Kane, you know, so you start to do this kind of stuff because you saw it from time to time on magazines, you know. So like, man, I would like to do these demons like Paul Booth, you know. But you know, Mexico is really Catholic, so no. You know?
But to explain to customer, because you know what, it's very important we just talking about these things some days ago, so it's hard to let understand to people the process you make when you learn every day, and more you learn and more you decided to take away details, and we just talking about the traditional way, no? So do you think your customer will understand that the process you do it for yourself to decide to go more traditional, so in some way, sorry if I say that, but less beautiful? Because you know today the people want a lot of colors, you know, a lot of details.
I think it's complicated because 12 years ago.
Great question.
It's
a great question.
12 years ago, when I go back to Mexico, you know, like start to explode the tattooing and start to explode this kind of neo-traditional things, you know, and the realistic colors that I never saw in Japan at that moment, you know. So I come to Mexico and there is a lot of tattooers doing realistic colors, you know, like portraits and stuff like that, you know. And but at that moment, 12 years ago, all these portraits were like fading away in 1 year, you know. So the people know, like, hey man, look at the Moroccos of tattoos from Morocco, you know. The colors don't fade away. So maybe it's the ink. Let's ask Morocco to do these portraits with the colors he brought from Japan, you know.
Yeah.
So I remember really well that at the beginning when I got to Mexico, like the people didn't want it Japanese, you know. They wanted some kind of Asian stuff, you know. Like they want koi fish with clouds on purple,
waves maybe,
and inside stars in colors, you know. Like hey, this is not existing.
Okay.
And the people is telling to me, but I'm gonna pay you, you know. You need to serve me because I'm gonna pay you. So I said like, sorry.
Fuck off.
I am not doing that, you know.
And
like,
this is something that caused you some kind of problems, some kind of troubles with your customers in Mexico.
A lot. But because, you know, like I don't know, like I start to say no, you know, to the customers. You know, normally tattooers don't say no. They try to convince, but when they cannot convince the customer, it's like okay, let's do it your way, you know. But me, it's like no, I am not doing it because, you know, like I have a way to do it, and it's not because I invented or because I am a egomaniac or something like that. You know, like I have a guy that was teaching me a lot of stuff, you know, and taking his time and really, you know, like time is money, you know. So Monta was teaching me all this, you know, and I saw Monta explaining to all the customers, even Japanese customers, from time to time ask stuff that they don't know, you know. So Monta is explaining, and the customer said, no, I want it like that. Sorry, I cannot do it like that, you know. Even in Japan, no. So I got this way of doing the stuff, coming to Mexico, and a lot of people say like, hey, no, I want my back piece, but till here, till the waist, you know.
Yes.
It's like, no, the correct way is till here, till the ass.
Yeah.
No, nobody's gonna touch my ass. Sorry, but no, you know. Like, okay, sorry me, but no, you know. Like,
no, I'm not gonna.
And it was really complicated to push this kind of Japanese stuff 12 years ago in Mexico, you know. Yeah, it was
because I suppose also that considering the Latin American, Central American culture, the realistic tattoos are the people from the Latin American and Central America are more into realistic tattoos. I suppose. I think so. I think it was difficult to introduce this new kind of technique, new kind of new kind of tattoos in your area, in the Latin America and Central America. So I think it was difficult for you also for this kind of reason.
And this is, as Rino say right now, it's keep being difficult because with all this social media and Pinterest and you saw a lot of, you put tattoo and as Rino say, really beautiful kind of Art Nouveau tattoo comes with a lot of colors, a lot of filters, a lot of Photoshop comes, and the people want this, as a tattoo.
Yeah.
I want a tattoo as beautiful as this, But one of my friends say to me in Mexico is hey man, your tattoos are not ugly, because I was saying my tattoos are brood, are like a raw, It's like no, your tattoos are not ugly and not raw, They are sincere,
Yeah.
Because as appears right now, in 10 years it's gonna continue being the same, It's the same I found out with the traditional American traditional, or the traditional that develops here in Italy, You saw it, and maybe if you compare it with some Art Nouveau and stuff like that, this guy don't have too much talent at drawing, But you saw it 20 years later, and it's like,
Okay.
It's still there.
It's still there. There's nothing more advanced than the tradition.
Yes. Bravo.
Vero?
I have to explain something about what you say about, for example, one of the big mistakes I did so many times. So to do,
I interrupt you. We have a message from Mexico.
Oh!
Attenzione. Allora, okay. I take the mic because the people have to listen to me. So, este es un mensaje en español y voy a hablar en español un poquito. Este es el mensaje. Morocco está haciendo una escuela de tatuaje japonés en México, algo parecido a lo que Ivan Sassi hizo en Brasil. Yo creo que se lo debemos a personas como ellos.
Gracias.
Did you pay this guy to say that?
Sí. Now you can pay it by PayPal, no matter if you are far away.
Basically, he said that Morocco here is making a
compared to Ivan Sassi.
Ivan Sassi, is creating a new school of Japanese tattoo in Mexico compared to what is doing in this very moment Ivan Sassi in Brazil. So. It's a huge compliment,
I cannot accept it because it's too much.
But just because you are my son,
Okay, just because I am.
Rino is doing the same thing in Italy, but no one knows.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about this.
But anyway, let me finish this thing because it's very important. And I am the first one that I admitted to do it so many times. Backpiece, considering also the S. Okay, I understand that is a painful part, but if you wanna make a comparison with clothing, it's like having be naked and having only a shirt on, and that is the worst thing you can see in your life. People walking on the street naked with the shirt on, maybe your ball sack hanging out underneath the shirts. So backpiece is not like that. Backpiece is all the back until the S, at least.
This is the bodysuits.
No, bodysuit is a complete.
But the backpiece it included the S. Yes.
It's painful, I know,
but you have to respect the tradition.
Somebody got to do it.
Yeah, of course. Continuate a scrivere sulla chat della trasmissione, mi raccomando, e continuate a seguire la diretta in questo momento su Instagram, sulla pagina ufficiale dello studio di Long Live Tattooing, mi raccomando. Vedo che comunque c'è del movimento, lo vedo appunto dalla diretta, dal Messico, e quindi siamo molto molto contenti di questo. E comunque salutiamo anche Bachinoeli, che non l'avevamo ancora fatto, non l'avevamo ancora salutato, e lo ringraziamo come sempre per essere in diretta con noi. Andiamo avanti. Parlavamo appunto del tatuaggio tradizionale, se ci sono stati anche dei cambiamenti tra le persone che fanno tatuaggio tradizionale giapponese, non solo in Giappone ma anche in tutto il mondo, se ha notato un cambio di stile, un avvicinamento con con nuovi punti di ci sono di nuovi punti di riferimento per il tatuaggio giapponese in giro per il mondo. Vado io?
Vai.
Vado io, perché non tu ce la fai, one question that I would like to ask you is if there is also a change into the Japanese traditional tattoos, if there's a change between the tattooers or between the subjects the people are tattooing right now. Do you see this kind of differences between the differences now and compared to the time that you used to start to tattooing?
Yeah, there is a lot of difference, and nowadays more tattooers are doing Japanese style, but they come from a different background. They come from a kind of like a crazy. I don't want to call it crazy, but what Trevino was doing in the 90s. This kind of crazy traditional style. He called itself like a crazy style. Yeah, so. Nowadays it's becoming a little bit like that, like a lot of the tattooers doing kind of traditional stuff, like a crazy stuff, mixing this kind of things with Japanese stuff. Yeah, so you can see it, and it looks really, really good. There is a lot of things that. So
you don't consider it as a treason or a treason of the traditional style, Japanese style, or it's simply an evolution of the Japanese tattoo?
No, I don't think it's gonna be. I think Japanese tattoo gonna remain forever like it is, because it's a tradition. It's like you cannot make wine putting some kind of soda inside and like putting lemon and calling this real wine. Or traditional wine, You can have some kind of mixes that some people gonna like it, some people not, but it's new, So I don't think it's gonna get an evolution. Maybe the only evolution that I can know in this is like the people start to learning and knowing more about the tradition. For example, in Mexico nowadays, I can relate that people is coming like in Japan 17 years ago, coming with names, It's not like I want a sleeve. What do you want? Dragons, geishas, pagodas, this and that, Now the customers say like, I want this warrior, I want this god, or I want this tattoo, And for me, this is good because, that they are like researching and doing their homework, And for me, it's better because I don't need to, I want to
explain everything.
A few months still people is asking me like, I want a dragon in my arm, what else do you recommend me to do, So I say, hey man, like we can do this warrior that is going along with this dragon, and I explained that and the people is like, okay, so if we do only the dragon, what else you can put? Flowers and stuff like that.
Or maybe you can put it a frog.
But you as a person that used to know pretty much and pretty well Japanese culture, okay, you know what they thinking about our version of Japanese, because it's so long tradition, it's like is respectful, is disrespectful with the culture stuff. What do you they think about this?
They think this is good, but this is different,
it's different.
Look at the tattoos, are really nice, but they are like okay, like it's not
they don't
Japanese.
have a curiosity about the Eastern culture in doing for the Japanese culture.
I don't want to I don't want to say like I know everything about Japan or like a Japanese way, because I am not Japanese myself, but all the time that I am seeing this and I am talking with Japanese tattooers and so like that, no, because they are focus into traditional Japanese, so traditional Japanese is so vast, vast as
fuck.
So every day, even now, after 17 years of doing Japanese tattoos, every day I am researching and I am learning something new.
I think this is the best way to learn and best way to improve.
Imagine Japanese people is the same, doing that. And I am talking with some friends, Japanese friends, in a kind of a, like a regular. Like, hey man, I found out this thing, and this is going to better to Japanese tattoos, for example, this ink, I make this ink and it's better for Japanese tattoos, I say like, okay, and I can do it also with machine and for other tattoos, like I don't know about machine or other tattoos, but with Tebor it goes so fucking well, so
Yeah, I understand.
they keep digging and going deep into the traditional tattoo. It's not for everybody. There is a lot of tattooers, Japanese tattooers, that are doing a kind of a new versions, and putting their own way to do and stuff like that. So at the moment with the tattooers I am hanging around and talking and stuff like that, they are going really deep into traditional. So this is the way that I want to follow, like going as Rino says, maybe in the past I can do some more lecatore, more like tricks here, there. But now I want to go again to the
roots.
I want to learn it more, and I want to go deep into that. Yeah.
And do you think your clientele will go along with your changing? You have to. You need to have more energy to let people understand that instead of going better, you're going worst, because you take away more details, more colors.
Yeah, but he is going to respect the tradition. He's going to respect all the objects, the subjects from the Japanese tattoos.
But it's a hard way, because he had to explain to the customer.
No.
Especially why is looking so raw compared to 10 years ago tattoo, no?
Yes. I think this happened to a lot of tattooers, like all tattooers start to be more raw and more simple with the years, And I was thinking maybe like 15 years ago, why all tattooers are going this ugly, Maybe they are tired, maybe they don't like to tattoo anymore. What is happening, Now, 23 years later, I know why they are going raw and, like this kind of simple and, because we know how the skin reacts, We know about traditions, we know about a lot of things more than we knew several years ago. So I hope, and now I have more the knowledge to explain my customers about this, taking my time. In the past, I was doing appointments like on email, come to your appointment, I'm going to tattoo you this. And nowadays, I ask my customers in Mexico, can you please come? We can talk about your design. We can see the space you have in the place you want to get tattooed. And it's better, you know me, I know you, It's not like I make my appointment, I get the deposit, and when I get to my first appointment, the tattooer was a fucking asshole, Imagine having a tattoo from an asshole, It's like
or a Nazi asshole.
So yes, I am taking a little bit more of time to explain my customers. In the studio in Mexico, we try to do some kind of capsules, explaining some tattoos. From time to time becomes a little bit kind of contradictory, because the people really don't understand, and then they start to call these subjects like that, For example, happened with the frogs, not the frogs, the toads,
Yeah.
The rospo,
Rospo.
We make the explanation about the word, play word in Japanese, So nowadays, all people in Mexico is calling the rospo gaman.
Gammon.
But it's not a gaman, It's the play of words, But nowadays everybody is called
gammon.
So it's kind of, but we are trying to let people know the things that I am learning there, and then explaining and then taking time and stuff like that. Yeah. So
this is a wonderful thing for a tattooer, because he can spread all the knowledge, spread all the culture, teaching people, or he can spread all what he learned from his experience, from what he learned from his years doing this job. So to me, it always be it always be a pleasure to hear someone says that, because it means that there is a hope. There is hope for tattooing. There is a hope for the customers, and there's hope also for the tattooist, of course.
Probably is also the difference between a professional, because
Yeah.
here since day one we're talking about when we're talking about tattoo, we're talking about only the professionals, the real tattoo artist, because as we used to say, tattoo artist is a complete package. Inside there is the culture, the
Passion, the
experience,
experience, the passion,
the
the
way
attitude.
the behavior he have with the customer, and also that he really want to teach people the way to approach to a good tattoo, and spending time with the customer just to let him know the best way to approach it. For example, I want to say something super quick. Yesterday I got the opportunity to tattoo this guy. First tattoo he never get tattooed in his life. He wanted just because he get married, so he don't used to wear rings. What do you want?
Alessio Ricci.
Che dice?
Alessio Ricci from San Diego, California, is saying quasi quasi vado a Tijuana oggi per rimanere in tema.
You want to go to
Mr. Alessio Ricci from San Diego, California wants to go to Tijuana within the end of this episode, just to stay focused on the...
Strano che non ha detto un'altra volta che a San Diego ci sono 26 gradi fissi tutto l'anno.
Adesso
quasi
quanti gradi ci sono a San Diego? Dai, facci un po' patire, dai, va bene, ok.
Okay. Anyway, so this guy he want to have like a ring tattooed, okay? Because he don't used to wear nothing, no watch, nothing, no rings.
Yeah.
No. So he got married. So the wife she used to have a ring. He want a tattoo. And the thing was that I spending for just 2 small line on a finger. Probably 1 hour talking with this guy.
Just for a
Because I feel like to
ring.
do it. Because at the end, maybe because I want to do something different, I explain this guy the difference between one technique and another, how long he gonna stay if he does in that color, and if he do all around lines instead to do just the top of it, the finger. And I was thinking there, why I spend this much time talking with this guy? Because I had to, especially also because he was a nice person, he understand it. And then at the end of the session, because I did these 2 lines and poke. Because I want to spend time to this guy, because it was his first tattoo. So I can do it easily with the machine. But I tell him, somebody teach me that it's way better to do it hand poke instead of with machine, because I'm gonna destroy your finger, because there is no enough chicha.
Ciccio.
There is not
Enough meat
to tattoo you with the machine. But at the end, he was so grateful, and he tell me, thank you very much for the time you spend to teach me something so simple. So I think this is the meaning of everything, because you have to take your time to tell people the best way to approach in tattooing. Everything. It can be a line, or can be a full body, or can be a back piece, or can be a sleeve, or just a dolphin on the bikini line. Because it's very important. You have a kind of mission to do, no? To tell people the best way to approach it. And maybe one day a guy want 2 stripes on a finger. Maybe one day he's gonna coming back and want a back piece.
Do you think so? You agree with what Rino is saying?
Yeah, yes, I think a lot of tattooers relate about this. Like at the beginning, there is some tattoo happened to me. You want to do the dolphin as beautiful as possible, maybe this customer gonna bring more friends.
Yeah.
Or maybe this customer is gonna come again and get something bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, all the time is like that. Like communication with the customer.
But you don't think, because I was thinking, in these days I can tell there is a lot of people ask big stuff, okay? But that is not a good way to wasting skin, because maybe it's better also to take time to let people understand that not because you have to go big you can waste in skin, so it's very important to have time to talking with the guy and understand if he really wanted something like that. Also because a back piece is something very hard to get, because first of all it's super painful, and then it's something that you will never enjoy because it's on the back.
Yeah.
Some other people
You're
will
not
see.
going to see this
As
piece unless you have two mirrors, one in front of another. But it's,
But even
it's quite
with
difficult.
that, you will never gonna appreciate what you have, because it's a lot of devotion. That is very important. It's important to say this, because you cannot approach a project this big, this important, without being regular, because it's very important to even maintain regularity in what you get, because, and Morocco can say something about it, even the tattoo artist can change it a little bit, from one year to another.
Yeah.
The style.
Yes.
No?
And some people, Rupian says hello from Mexico in the Instagram direct.
Raul.
And also Alessio Ricci says that now, in this very moment, in San Diego, it's quite cold. It's 15 degrees.
Fanculo. Se la merita.
Se merita.
Prima o poi tu c'hai da tornare.
Prima o poi tu tornerai, porca miseria. Comunque saluto Alessio Ricci, personaggio incredibile.
Vai a Piumone.
Piumone.
Noi qui col Piumone e lui a San Diego.
E te lì te va a pigliatelo nel culo. Cioè, per scherzare,
così. Amici di Twitch, stiamo scherzando assolutamente. Comunque, ok. Tanto già ha volato un'ora senza accorgersene.
Like this,
yeah. Snapped just 1 hour, that we are talking with Morocco. Some guys from Mexico say hello to Maestro Morocco over here, and we are so proud to have you here, of course. And okay, we can move forward with the questions.
No, if you want to have a time, just think about it, because I don't remember if the other time we got the interview, you were saying something. Some episode happened to you, scary, creepy, funny.
Okay.
Something related with the tattoo.
The strangest thing that happened to you during your years of tattooing.
But if you want to take time,
take your time to think about it.
That is very important.
For example, we had a tattooist that found a dead body.
Andiamo
dall'Alpi, yeah. That body in front of the door of his studio, for example.
Yes, when he was working Bucks in London.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a stairs. Underneath the stairs, they find a dead body.
Okay, no.
Nothing like that.
No, I think.
I give you another example.
But for sure, you're gonna have some
I give you another
story happen to you.
I give you another example. Angelo Colussi. Salutiamo. Angelo Colussi made a tattoo to a customer, and the day after, the same customer came back into the studio and told him, "I love this tattoo, but I don't like the position. Can you move this tattoo 3 centimeters up?" So
so we have so many stories to tell.
So, for example, for instance, you can say something like that if you have in your experience, but The one that wanted to move up the tattoos 3, 4, 5 centimeters up was quite funny. So I thank you, Angelo, for this kind of story, which was amazing every
Give me
time.
everything, take your time.
Take your
Because
time.
maybe in your early days, when you fuck up something, or
We have a message from Mexico here on a Twitch chat. It's they're saying "Estoy de moda." The name of the guy is Estoy de moda. Okay. Morokogon el más chingón de México.
Grazie, grazie.
What is chingón in Mexican? Can you translate it, or there's no translation for it?
Yeah, chingon is like
The microphone, Morocco.
chingon is like
Badass.
yeah, badass.
Okay.
Yes,
Badass,
the
yeah.
badass.
The badass. Okay. Okay. I'm going to see if someone. In the meantime, think about it, and now the episode is on.
Is that true that in Mexico you like junk food?
We like papita with chili.
Papita
And
e cerveza.
We like cerveza con chili.
No, it's fun because exactly the night before Morocco arriving in the airport,
Yeah. What happened?
I was seeing this series, series
yeah.
in Netflix about the Mexican food.
Okay.
And it was
Papita.
all about junk food, but real junk. I
It's
mean,
all
I could not believe they eat that kind of stuff.
They are famous for this kind of stuff.
But to me it was like too much, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was the funny version of the food, because you tell me that thing is maybe.
I would like to say hello to Anna and Carly, which she is at the ravioli.
The wife of
Sono a ravioli anche stasera.
Giura.
Ho scritto questo, sono a ravioli anche stasera.
Best Chinese food in
Un
Prato.
abbraccione a voi. The best Chinese food in Prato, by far. Idolor Tatuajes saying the amazing Morocco, greetings from New York City.
There you go. All over the world.
There you go. And a lot of people from Mexico, a lot of people from all over the world actually, and this is something which is very. I'm saying this very proudly, so I'm so proud of it. Thank you so much for everyone who is attending this transmission in this very moment. So this is going to be one of the greatest episodes from this for our first season. Thank you so much.
It's true. Also, we have to, if you want, we can tell where is gonna happen next, because after here and. I don't know if I'll let you go away just in case, because I don't want to spend another 10 years without seeing you. Otherwise, I'm gonna cry like a baby. Okay. And you going back to Germany, and then
I am going to visit my daughter and my friends in Japan. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So
after 9 years, I think.
You saw your daughter for the first time in 9 years?
No. She
Okay.
was with me in Mexico.
Okay.
And then she went back to Japan after the just
lockdown.
When the pandemic starts.
After the
she
coronavirus.
went.
Yeah.
So everything become a crazy thing.
But the first time in Mexico after 9 years. So the first time in Japan, sorry, after 9 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So it's gonna be quite emotional, I suppose.
of course you're gonna be a host, guest at Montamorino place.
Monta, sì.
Yes, and for you it's also, even if for you Japan is like the second home, no? Of course, because you also coming from there, because your daughter is living right there. But you are there also to make another journey as a
Guest?
no guest, as to learn more, because we just talking that you want to do the next step, no?
Yeah, I want to deep more into traditional things,
sure.
in Japan, because I think for me, the evolution of my tattooing is to go back, like a more and more.
As I said before, there's nothing more advanced than the tradition.
Exactly. So I am talking a lot with Monta, and I am talking a lot with Ryota, Bunshin Horimatsu, So yes, like I am learning a lot from these guys, like a lot from this guy, and also I am seeing work from people around the world, I am talking a lot with Adam Kitamoto from Ten Tattoo,
Another super good artist, man, from Australia. Very, 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 very good.
Yes, I am talking. From time to time, I went to Pino, and just listen to him, and making some jokes and stuff like that. And it's the thing that I am saying to Rino, there are some times the new tattooers come to your studio, and the only things that they ask you is which ink, which needle, which machine. And it's kind of sad because instead of going to the place,
enjoy the stay, enjoy the moment,
enjoying the things that they are saying to you, Rino is talking about papita every day,
Humone, papita, something like
papita, and all this stuff. And for me, this is really kind of rich, because it's something different that I am doing every day in my studio, So I come here, he say papita, but then from time to time, he says some really kind of jewels of tattooing with all his experience he have,
Yeah.
But I found it a jewel because, he's not telling all the time the same.
Yeah.
He's calling some stuff, singing.
Quite funny, huh?
Like a fiesta, Fiesta di 33 volte tanto.
Fiesta di 33 volte tanto.
E qui la Ferrero, secondo me, un pensino ce la potrebbe anche fare a noi, chiaramente, darci qualche so. Yeah, because because the atmosphere, the people here and the people that you are actually met, that you actually meet here in Italy are they could be a good input for you, for your career, for your experience.
And I see it yesterday, Gian Mauro Spanu come to the studio, and Gian Mauro Spanu don't speak English,
No,
but
he barely speaks Italian also. Let's say this. Ok.
So only with
Scusa Gian Mauro, ma lo devo dire, per pazienza. Tanto non ci ascolta.
Only with his presence, and seeing his face after so long, for me was really good, magical. It's kind of, my God, for only these little moments, I am here in Italy,
Yeah, but that motherfucker, he show up, and then before he left, he give his visit card to my fucking client. That is not fair. That is not correct. That motherfucker from Sardinia, necklace guy, fucking midget.
Comunque, no, il povero Gianmauro, saluto da Gianmauro,
come se fosse normale.
E Storia di Moda seems like he is one of your customers, because he said he has to come back to finish my legs. He just let him have some vacations. He said okay.
Gracias.
So he paid for the vacation.
He paid for the vacation.
Morocco.
He came
por las vacaciones.
He came in vacation with your money, maybe.
Yeah. Today we do a very good shopping in the center of Florida with your money.
With
probably.
your money. Okay.
I'm gonna show you how your money is dressing.
But you know what? He will coming back to Mexico and he will look so cool, man. Super cool.
I need to look good for my customers.
Yeah, sure. Everything for your customers, of course. And Did you think about the strangest things that happened to you, or you don't have any? Not yet. Not yet. Not a funny thing. One of the not the most funny, but one of the funniest thing.
Okay, one of the funniest thing I think happening in Japan, and this is in Japan because the people and the customer are kind of more serious. You know, it's not like here in Italy, you know, like or Mexico. You know, the customer coming, you know. In Japan, everything is more tranquil, more quiet, and stuff like that. So it was a really funny song for me. This experience, you know. I think 15 years ago, I hate Bon Jovi with the core of my bones. You know? the sound of Bon Jovi was like drilling my ears. So Monta have this kind of a joke that say to the customers, you know, like for example, I don't like at that moment reggae music. And if a customer say like, I like reggae music, you know, and Monta saying like, hey, that's nice because Morocco also like reggae music a lot, you know. And the customer is like, for real? And then Monta say like, no, this is a joke, you know. It's like, oh man, yeah. So there was a customer that Bon Jovi started to sound in the radio.
Oh my God!
So the customer said like, man, Bon Jovi is the best. And then Mon say like, really?
Morocco loves him.
But this customer was like a completely crazy. Yeah, real man. You like Bon Jovi is my favorite now. I like you a lot, Morocco. You know. So Monta couldn't say no. She was so happy that this guy couldn't say it's a joke. You know. So this customer invited us to dinner. You know, and then invited us to the karaoke. You know.
Oh.
And when she arrived, amen, this is no joke, when she arrived to the Japanese restaurant, in Japan normally everything is more quiet, no? But when she arrived, she started to sing the enter of the restaurant. It's my life! Like, man.
No.
So, after that, we start to get drunk, and then we go to the karaoke, and Morocco, please,
sing a song from Bon Jovi. Sing a song from Bon Jovi.
After that, me and Monta, we start to like Bon Jovi. And after that, every time we are going to the karaoke, I am singing Bon Jovi.
Good. That's a good story.
But we all know that this is for the Mexican friends. We are all fans of Vicente Fernandez, which is one of the greatest songwriters in Mexico, and it was a great pleasure to get tattooed by you with the Vicente Fernandez songs in the background,
and also some Nacho Libre song.
A Nacho Libre song. Okay, no, I
like your cow.
I didn't know, obviously, I didn't know Vicente Fernandez, but it was a great atmosphere when Morocco tattooed me a few days ago with Mexican music. It was part of the tattoo, actually.
You got the Japanese Mexican experience.
Yeah.
The Japanese tattoo and the Mexican music.
It was great. It was great. Was a great experience, and thank you so much since now for what you did.
It's like eating sushi with papitas.
Exactly, and some salsa Valentina, you know.
Okay, let's see.
There is some question on Instagram.
Not in this very moment. A lot of people actually, which are waiting. They are waiting. They are saying.
Bravi. Hola,
amigos.
So I think we can go straight to the last question we used to give to.
Yeah, it's time. Unfortunately, it's time.
I don't know if we ask you these things the other time, but now we usually end up.
Obviously, Caos 22 says,
please
don't forget the last classic question,
meno male ci siete.
Meno male, abbiamo la gente che ci segue.
Che ci segue e si ricorda tutto.
So
the question is, for you, what's the future of tattooing?
It's a difficult question.
Yes.
Because you
already answered it anyway.
Yeah.
Just to give you one tip, because you says that it's going back, no?
Yes, I think for me the future of my tattooing is going back. Like going a little bit more to the.
What
roots of
about the
tattoo-
rest of the world?
The rest of the world, I think the future of the tattooing for the rest of the world is also going a little bit to the root. What is the root of the tattooing? For my own opinion, and from my point of view, a lot of people nowadays maybe they're gonna differ a lot with my point of view. I think the future of tattooing is to start to listen to the people that know about tattooing. Nowadays a lot of people is just like grabbing a machine and thinking because they have a machine they are tattooers. Machines that are designed to know nothing about tattooing. Like I bought this kind of new machines that don't have a coils, don't have a motor, don't have nothing. It's just like started tattooing like that, without knowing how to draw, without knowing about the skin, without knowing about ink, pigments, needles, composition, background, blah, 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 blah. So for me, the great thing is that tattooing going again into the roots, like the new people that is really interested in learning how to tattoo to give their best to the customers, start to go again with the old masters, like the old people that can really teach you, because you cannot learn tattoo in a tattoo school, you cannot learn tattoo on YouTube. Even when there is a lot of nice channels on YouTube, but you cannot do that. It's like imagine learning how to swim on YouTube or in a you're gonna drown someday in the fucking sea. So I think the future need to be like that, need to be like going a little bit to the root, listen to the elders, listen to the people that really knows about tattooing, and making a little bit of effort like in the past, like when I was an apprentice, I didn't have for real even money to pay my bus, ticket, but I am putting an effort and going and.
But you had passion.
At that moment, I even didn't know it was passion, because it was 23 years ago, I just want to be a kind of a badass kid with a lot of tattoos, and it was only the way to doing, like you want to do tattoos, you want to do good tattoos, go 2 hours away from your home, to even at that moment I remember in Mexico, I don't know in the rest of the world, but in Mexico you couldn't be an apprentice, you are only the guy that is like helping with everything,
Yeah.
And they maybe can let you see how they tattoo, From time to time there is people that what are you doing here? Like I am looking. No, go and do another stuff there, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it could be good if we go to these roots again. For example, me again coming with Reno and listen, as I told you, these little jewels from time to time.
Yeah.
This guy is letting me know, beside the he's seeing Netflix in Mexico junk food,
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
It's very important.
It's very important.
I think if I have to add something,
you have to.
It's very important to the newcomers. We it's like this show is made from the old timers to the newcomers, no?
Yeah,
Because we always talking about the newcomers. If I have to suggest and to give a tip to a newcomers, I just want to continue what he says. So in every city, in every corner, there is a shop, okay? But in every city, there is the oldest shop. Try to understand which one is the oldest shop. Go to the oldest shop. Talk
to the people. Yeah.
Instead of sending mail, and never show up.
Get in touch. Really get in touch.
Yes, show the balls to the master you think can be. Instead to send him just a message and pretending he's gonna answer you back in an honest way, show yourself,
show respect,
showing yourself.
Yep.
So go and maybe listen what they have to say for real. Listen everything they have to say, and maybe you can get kicked, probably.
Maybe.
But
If not,
if you show respect, every time you show respect, you're gonna get back respect. Always,
Yeah.
It's happened to me all the time. I never get any bad experience going all the part of the world when I've been going in a random shop. They never kick me out because I was approaching the place in a real way, so respectful, just to let them know that I'm there because I'm curious and I want to meet other people and I want to see the way they thinking or the way they tattooing. It's very important to show this kind of respect, showing up with your persona. Go there and meet the people and see what they have to say and listen to them, because the thing they can tell you will never find it on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember if I can say something.
Yeah, sure.
I remember when I started tattooing, one of the eldest tattooers in Mexico were crushing my balls every day, telling me really bad things, and making me feel so bad, with the things I am doing and stuff like that.
Because you saw something in you, maybe.
But then, 23 years later, I am using the bad things that he's telling me nowadays. Man, this guy was telling me this, and at that moment I was thinking, what an asshole, But right now I say I am using it every day. I remember a lot this guy.
Yeah, because it was the correct approach, the right approach to use it to someone who has this kind of love, this kind of passion, this kind of interest in the tattoos.
It's funny that most of my friends, I don't remember who tell it, maybe Tofino tell once, the first time he met me, I say something very bad to him. But he's still my friend, So most of my friends, the first approach was in a bad way, but then we become friends.
I know. The first
You can say something about this.
really rough.
Maybe it's the way I am, so I just wanted to test in you to see how you can be.
And now you are father and son.
And now we are friends.
Ciccio. There you go, abbiamo
It's
finito.
over.
It's over now, baby blue, come direbbe il poeta. Allora, facciamo l'ultimo giro a vedere se qualcuno ha scritto dal Messico o che hanno scritto in generale da qualche parte. Un sacco di gente che saluta, però nessuno, non ci sono domande per il momento, comunque va benissimo.
And they're just happy to be here.
Yeah, they were happy to be here without saying anything, but they are waving, they are saying hello, so that's okay for us. Abbiamo finito, quindi noi ci ripresentiamo qui martedì prossimo con...
Non si sa,
cioè lo sappiamo in realtà, però non ve lo vogliamo dire, ve lo diremo praticamente in trasmissione durante i prossimi giorni. Io vi ricordo sempre di mettere un bel mi piace al canale della pagina, al canale di Twitch, chiaramente alla pagina Twitch, mettere un bel mi piace anche alla pagina Instagram longlive_tattooing _podcast, mettete già che ci siete anche un bel mi piace a Long Live Tattooing, la pagina dello studio.
Comunque sarebbe bello per le persone che intervengono ogni tanto, spesso nella chat, anche qualche suggerimento.
Esatto.
Noi l'accettiamo,
Noi siamo qui aperti ai vostri
se
suggerimenti.
volete che chiamiamo qualche...
Chi volete...
però mi raccomando, mi tirate fuori tipo la boutique del tatuaggio, perché cerchiamo di mantenere un certo livello.
Se seguite questa trasmissione sapete che c'è un livello da rispettare, quindi se ci fate dei suggerimenti, se volete proporre qualcuno da portare in trasmissione, fatelo, però sappiate che passerà al vaglio della direzione artistica,
che sono io,
perché lui fondamentalmente la direzione artistica, ci metto anch'io la direzione artistica, anche in un certo senso. Ringraziamo come sempre tutti coloro che sono rimasti all'ascolto sia sulla diretta Instagram sia sulla diretta Twitch. Grazie a Pedro Tatini e Davide Bencini che hanno curato la parte tecnica, grazie a Tommaso e Flavia Guidi,
bravo,
che hanno curato la sigla, ci mancherebbe altro. Ringraziamo la cantiletta del nonno,
Grazie al tenente del nonno,
Tenente
nella
del
veste
nonno,
di Beppe.
nella veste di Beppe, il nostro
rifocillatore.
caricatore di...
Direttamente dalla Sardegna, come Giammolo Spano.
Come Giammolo Spano. Lui ce l'ha il collo però.
Lui ce l'ha il collo.
Sì,
al contrario di Giammolo Spano che non c'ha il collo.
Diciamo Fede, poi lo Gianmauro, ci dispiace tantissimo, mi hanno tirato dentro, non volevo. E ovviamente c'è una persona da ringraziare stasera che è venuta a trovarci. È una settimana che è qua, ce lo siamo spupazzato in giro per tutta la Toscana praticamente. Mi ha tatuato, è stato un momento bellissimo, sono felicissimo di avere questo suo pezzo addosso e lo ringrazierò veramente per tutta la vita, perché chiaramente me lo porterò dietro per tutta la vita questo momento. Quindi Morocco, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for having us.
Grazie Ciccio.
Thank you for the piece. I really love it every day I see it. It's getting better and better. So thank you very much. Thank you so much for everything. Noi ci sentiamo martedì prossimo, sempre qui da San Casciano e niente, vi salutiamo.
Buona
Ragazzi, ciao a tutti.
Ciao ragazzi.
Papita!
Vogliamo i ginocchi.